So, just wanted to go over a little bit about my trail camera strategy. I've got basically two different types of cameras that I use. The first one is just these cheap stealth cams here. This one's older than this one. I've got probably, I don't know, 20 or so of them. Some of them are about 6 or 8 years old at this point. They are the real cheap ones. You get them in a 2-pack. They're like, I don't know, 80 bucks for a 2-pack. They usually last, for me at least, about 2 to 4 years on average, and that's keeping them out and running them year round. And where I'll generally use those is places where I want to keep a good eye on, places that I'll bait even, because we can bait here in Maryland, but places that don't necessarily have a target buck that I'm after right now. Now, places that I do have a target buck, or at least let's say my top 2 or maybe 3 target bucks, I will put one of the Tactacam cell cams. And what I do for those, I keep 3 or 4 of these lithium rechargeable batteries in the truck. Keep one charged at all times so I can swing through and keep those charged up. And that gives me the most up-to-date information possible on the bucks that I'm targeting. And then I'll do a weekly check on all these other guys where I'll go pull my chips. I'll also put one of these on something like a scrape, or, you know, just a trail that I intend to hunt, somewhere that's likely to have less traffic, but still, you know, I think I'll get pictures of deer. And what I'll do a lot of times is just go with one of my smaller SD cards, like a 2 or 4 gigabyte, just because they're cheaper cards, so it's easier to have more of them. And then anything that's on bait, I'll, you know, do at least an 8 or probably a 16 or a 32 so that I don't overfill that card. And these guys here, the battery life is phenomenal. You can get usually 3, 4, maybe even 5 months on the 12 AA's that they take. And I'm just getting the cheap Amazon, you know, this is like a 50-pack, I think, but you can get the 100-pack or whatever, and that'll keep you going. So that setup works really good for me. It's very situation dependent. You know, like I said, we can bait here, so it's a situation where I'm going in at least once a week to bait anyway at these spots, so it makes all the sense in the world to just run a non-cellular camera, because I'm not making an extra trip to go put the SD card in. But the Tactacams work great as well. I've had no problems with those, and it's really nice having the quick, up-to-date information. So that's just kind of my brief thoughts on how I like to run my trail cameras. I know there's a million different ways to do it, but if you're just getting started, even if you just have 1 or 2 cameras, maybe that information will help you out. Like and subscribe.